Hello, everybody. We are back with another visual pattern challenge for you today. So here is our visual pattern. Here is step 1, and then it changes in step 2 and changes more in step 3. And your challenge here is to use your intuition to predict the number of squares that are going to be present in step number 4 in the next step. And if you can do that, then to try to predict the number of squares in step 43, much more difficult. And can you write an equation along the way that could be used to predict the number of squares in any step at all? So that's the challenge. If you'd like to accept that, pause the video, give it a try. All right, so this is kind of an interesting looking pattern, a kind of a growing star shape. It starts with these 4 in the center, and those stay there, and it looks like we just add 4 in that next step. And then, oh yeah, so here's the original square with the 4 added, and then we just add 4 more to the end of that. So it looks like we're adding 4 every turn, every step. So if I were to predict step 4, I would just add another 4 squares out at the end of the exploding star or X or whatever this is. So how many would that be? We've got 4 in the middle, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I think there are 16 squares in step 4. Let's go ahead and look at these numbers a little more closely and carefully. We'll verify that this is a kind of a straightforward linear pattern when we do that. So I'm going to make a chart here with the step number and the number of boxes or squares. So in step 1 we have 4. In step 2 we've added 4 more, so that's 8. In step 3 that's 12. And in step 4 we're predicting 16. And once we get the numbers listed out, we take the differences. So we see what's happening each step. 8 minus 4 is 4. 12 minus 8, 4. 16 minus 12, 4. And that should make sense that we're getting a difference of 4 because we've been adding 4 every step. Now this difference, if it's the same, it means the pattern is linear, and we can use that equation for a line y equals mx plus b to model it. The m is our rate of change in this pattern. So that's the 4, the difference in each step, that's our m. So y equals 4x, and then the plus b is there in case we need to add or subtract something to make it work out with what we actually have on the board in the pattern. In this case, I think this is it, right? Because if you say y equals 4 times step 1, so we put in the step number for x, that's what x represents, you would get 4, and that's how many squares there are here. Let's try it with 2. So y equals 4 times step 2, you would get 8, and that's how many there are. If you did it with our step 4, y equals 4 times step 4, you would get 16, and that's exactly what we predicted. So our equation, I think we can be pretty sure it's just y equals 4x. Once you've got that, figuring out how many in step 43 is pretty easy. We just plug in 43 for x, for the step number. So 4 times 43, let's see, 4 times 40 is 160, and 4 times 3 is 12. So 160 plus 12 is 172 squares in step number 43. Well, how did you do? Did you get 16? Did you get the equation y equals 4x? Let me know. Thanks, everybody.